It feels like home. Yeah. And as I tell the office every day, I said, like this is the best facility in Grande Prairie that I know of.
Hi, I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Comfort Life. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading retirement communities and care providers to uncover insights to community lifestyle, care, culture, and leadership. This includes insights from residents, family members, and administration. This is the Comfort Life Insider Perspective.
Well, I can only speak from my own experience, Brian. And what I appreciate the most, of course, is the people, the staff, and the friendly environment. It's also, of course, a very nice building aesthetically. Uh, the lobby, and my mother lives in a one-bedroom suite, which is very nice, well kept, well maintained. But I would have to say mainly, of course, the people are what make the building. I mean, it's the staff, and there have been some changes. My mother has been there now since 2008, and there's been changes in staff, and every changeover has been great. I just can't say enough, about the staff, and of course the friendly environment. I guess
Can
just the social atmosphere, like with their bingos and various social activities that they have for the seniors, birthday parties at the end of the month. That's what I've been most impressed with, in addition to the care, of course, that my mother's receiving. Just how happy the residents seem to be, and just enjoy their time there and the activities that are afforded them. Pre-COVID, of course. Once COVID hit, of course, things had to shut down like everywhere else in the country. My mother's suite is very roomy, comfortable. It has air conditioning, thank goodness, with our recent heat wave. That's been a real bonus. And she can turn it on and off as she wishes. Um, the cleanliness is fine. Sometimes when they're short staffed, of course, but they do their best to keep the suite as clean as they can with the time they have. I think it's got to be about, well, Mom's been there since 2008, so that's 13 years ago, and I think it was open 5 years before she went there. So they're keeping it, maintained. Upkeep is good. Um, Christmas, they have it all decorated for the season, outside and inside. In the summer, they have flower boxes, brand new flower boxes out this year, and well kept, very colorful entranceway. It feels like home. Yeah. And as I tell the office every day, I said, like this is the best facility in Grande Prairie that I know of. And, I'm very, very pleased, and never look back when I put Mom, had her living there since 2008. Well, she's a very social person. And so after my father passed, um, uh, was in her own apartment for 5 years, and I found that she just wasn't getting enough social interaction. And so as soon as I mentioned, moving to Park Place, Emerald Gardens at the time, she was quite open to the idea. And within couple of weeks of adjustment, 2 to 3 weeks of adjustment, and through them including her in all the social activities, my mother's whole demeanor changed back to what she's really like. And for that I was very thankful, because if she had been living on her own much longer, I would have seen quite a change in her mental state, and just being the social person she was. So I was very, very thankful to see her returning back to her normal self, so to speak. Lately now, with her being on oxygen, she doesn't go out much. but she still likes to go for her walks and go down for the mail. But she is 99.8 after all, and is kind of, just settling down more, but she's still very friendly with the people she comes across. Well, once again, I guess it comes back to the staff. It's a very caring and nurturing environment. They have the safety and care of the patients uppermost, on the agenda. COVID has certainly brought that to the surface loud and clear. Uh, Overall, Park Place has seen very few cases of COVID, and it's due to the diligence of them following the protocol and just ensuring that the regulations are being followed. Very strict, which is good, and they don't tolerate, people disrespecting that. And I was just so thankful because all of us across the country were, I mean, with long-term care facilities, the publicity involved. I was just so scared that something was going to happen to Mom and the rest of the residents. And I wasn't allowed to see Mom till a year ago in July. Once the protocols came into effect, I couldn't even see her in hospital or when she came out of hospital. So I would have to say the care and nurturing environment for sure, just as reflected through all the staff, would have to be my number one thought here. The staff, they just put their own needs behind to make sure that the residents were well taken care of, and they were tired. I mean, you could see it on their faces, but they're not quitters. They just went forward with their job and did the best they could, and then went home exhausted, I'm sure. But they kept the residents' needs uppermost. I wrote many thank you cards during COVID. Many thank you cards, flowers. I just couldn't say enough. I always call them my angels to this day, and I tell them, up front, I don't know what I'd do without you. And that goes for all of them that I've been in touch with. Oh yes, the stress levels. Even though I'm retired, just the stress levels, like they alleviate my stress levels to practically zero. I can't imagine having to look after Mom on my own at this advanced age, especially with her now being on oxygen, or even in another care facility. I just that may not have been as good as Park Place. The stress level. That we're always in touch. They have, my contact. They're always in touch if they need anything. I'm right there. I'm only 20 minutes from town. We have a great. It's like a family relationship, really, is how I best can describe it. It's like my extended family. They just take care of things on that level for me, and they know that I'm on their team. As I say to Mom as well, you're on our team, Mom. We're all a team working together, and I'm a retired school teacher, so I know what teamwork's all about and how teamwork best moves things forward in a positive way. And I just appreciate them including me on their team, because I've made myself available and made it known to them right away just what I'm about. And it's worked. I mean, it's working. A huge relief. I always tell them I don't know what I'd do without you. It's like I'm sure I repeat myself at least once a week if I run into, Mom's caregivers and the office workers. The
I
general
bet they
manager.
never get tired of hearing it.
Well, no, I think no, you never do get tired, because human nature being what it is, you always hear the complaints and what's not right about something. It's quite a privilege here, actually, when the office asked if I would do this, even though I'm not a natural Zoomer as such. I jumped at it. I thought there, I'll do whatever I can to promote Park Place and the staff. Well, just based on my experience, and I have promoted Park Place to some of my friends who were wondering, if they should take a look. I've even had some people go and talk to Mum earlier on, and view the suite. And I've offered to take them, on a personal tour, and Mum actually, when she was able to take them on a personal tour, she would proudly take them to the exercise room, the social room, the laundry rooms, all, she was proud to show, earlier on, about 5 years ago, when she was able. And so that in itself attests to, us doing our part personally in promoting Park Place, just by making ourselves available. And my colleagues, my friends in my age group, they're wondering what to do as their loved ones, elderly loved ones, need more care. And I'm the first one to jump in there and say, well, I could even arrange a meeting for you, which I have done. So that's how I promote Park Place personally. Well, I just can again speak from my own experience, and I just went there personally, and went to the general office, the manager, and asked if could speak with them, and told them my situation, and they interview you and find out about your family history and so forth and so forth, and it goes from there. Is about the only advice I can get. Like, it's not even advice; it's just the general procedures. But look around, of course. I mean, depending on where you live in the country, I mean that has a lot to do with it. Being in a smaller center, 70,000 people approximately, 80,000, I'm sure somewhere in between 70,000, 75,000. We certainly have less to choose from than in a bigger city, obviously. So I checked around first, and then found out that due to Mum not being able to be subsidized, I didn't have very much choice left. And as it turns out, of course, it was the best choice, and you know, it was new. So I had no intrepidation at all, right from day one, just from the people I met initially, and then ongoing from there. It was the only one that would that um, wasn't subsidized, basically, and Mom didn't qualify for to be subsidized, so that was basically the only one available at that time. Well, due to Mom's age, I mean, she was 86 at the time, living on her own yet. And like I say, we'd lost Dad 5 years before that. And I just saw just a decline in her, just in her demeanor, um, emotionally, socially. She only got out maybe once in the evening and went downstairs in the lobby in the apartment building she was in. But that wasn't enough, because I was working at the time and just couldn't be there for her. So that was my main how do you say, trigger, I guess, or main reason for looking for accommodations for her where she'd be still independent, but around people all the time because of her very social nature. So it was more, to keep my mother's mental health, because physically she was fine, good physical health, but it was mentally, socially, emotionally, that dimension that I was trying to take care of for her. Well, just physically, I mean, I knew it was a new place, and it has a condo side and a renter side. So you had the option of owning your own place or renting. And she moved in December 14th of 2008. So it was all decorated up nice for Christmas. It was very welcoming, very bright, cheerful. And I liked the roominess of the suites, the one bedroom suites. And we were toured through the other ones as well. They have various, different types of suites, 2 bedrooms, bachelor suites, so forth and so forth. And we liked the 1 bedroom and it was available. And I really liked the way it was set up. Generally, it's 4 floors and mom's on the 3rd floor, elevators there, just the general cleanliness, that sort of thing. Well, I just got a couple of friends together and, we moved her with no issue at all. We had a moving date and they asked how they could help, uh, you know, move it along smoothly. And so they were ready to help us if we needed the help, which we didn't. We were independent and did it ourselves, but they did check in on us and check to see that everything was all right. And that's all I could ask for. I mean, if I needed help, I'm sure I would have gotten it at that time for sure. It being Christmas time or approaching Christmas time, mom just really they held Christmas dinner. They had Christmas dinner there. Also, another thing they hold in the summers is barbecues outside. They have notices in the elevators. Telling the residents what's happening that week, whether it's bingo or crib games or whatever. They keep the residents posted on various things that may be of interest to them. They have various denominations, church services coming in on Sundays. They have musical groups coming in. This is pre-COVID. I'm not sure. They're probably going to gradually reintroduce as time goes on. I know they're having the bingos now again. Just various special stuff like that they think the residents would enjoy, like the people coming in playing music, singing, church services. I mean, they're trying to cover as much of the gamut as they can for entertaining the guests, the residents. Well, because I didn't encounter any negative outcomes from the decisions I made at the time, Brian, I honestly have to say I wouldn't do anything differently. Uh, I took mom there to have a look at it herself, in November, which is the fair thing to do. After all, she's going to be the one that's living there. That was my initial to introduce her to the building, and she seemed to take to it right away. And really, I can't say I would do anything differently because I've been so fortunate, so very fortunate to have dealt with the people I did deal with right from the beginning and moving forward. I have had no unfortunate incidents with the staff, the residents. I know most of them by name. Like not most of them, but I mean, a few, and a lot of them have been friends of mine, like older friends of mine that have moved in. So, I just can't say enough about Park Place as it currently stands, and from when I moved mom back in 2008. I'm one of those fortunate people. Uh, when I see what's happened across the country in COVID, I thought, oh my gosh, how could I have been so lucky?
For more information about this community, you can visit their profile at comfortlife.ca.